Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to start this week doing the friendship series because in the poll that I did yesterday in the community section, actually the friendships series was very popular. It was the one that got higher votes. So, but actually, like I was thinking that since it is the most popular, I was hoping that maybe you could share your own recommendations to do this reading because I have or two that were on my list because they were pendant, but nevertheless I need more. So maybe if you could put in the comment section other friendship or dynamic that you would like me to read for. Remember that I do not do shipping readings, so please, if you want to ask for certain members of certain groups to see if there's something going on in there, I do not do those. I do not do shipping readings neither for actors or actresses. So I only do friendship or dynamic readings with people that it's confirmed that either they are friends because they had shared this themselves, or because they had worked together for a long period of time for them to develop some kind of bond. I do not waste my time like trying to use the tarot to speculate. I think that is very disrespectful to the people involved and at the same time to the tarot, because the tarot is a tool that I use for work as well and for self-reflection. So I do not want to get it like get them the energies a bit weird because of using it for superficial subjects. So let's start. Today is going to be the turn of ENHYPEN members, Sunghoon and Jake. This was requested a long time ago, so let's see how their bond is. I placed Sunghoon on the left and Jake on the right. So starting off with Sunghoon, he got the card of the Knight of Swords, the Hangman, and the Star card. So, yeah, I think that actually Sunghoon is showing me that he feels like he can be very outgoing, and he can show like a braver version of himself when he is with Jake. Probably they do have there's a lot of honesty here, because starting with this Knight of Swords, definitely I think that Sunghoon's personality sometimes, if you don't know him that well, can come off as a bit intimidating because he tends to be also a bit blunt when it comes to how he expresses himself or how he talks about his ideas or what he wants to say. So probably he's very straightforward. He's very like he goes straight to the point. He doesn't try to elaborate or sugarcoat his messages or his opinions. So I think that this actually causes problems with people understanding him, especially if you do not know him. Maybe he can come off as a bit rude. And I'm not talking only about, like the way he communicates. It's also his body language. He has the body language of a person that probably he's very assertive. He like I mentioned before, he goes straight to the point. He is very driven. He has like a very strong vision of what he wants to achieve, and he goes after that. So he doesn't like stop to be like considerate to his surroundings, and this doesn't mean that he's not considerate to others. This means that he shows himself the way he is. And actually, to do this, he is a bit awkward socially, and he knows it. I think that probably he is a person that is not very skilled when it comes to be sociable. Probably he is a bit of an introvert, but it's just that you do not see that because one, because of the work that he does, because he's in entertainment, so he is exposed, and two, because he is a man of action. Maybe despite him being a bit shy or a bit awkward socially, maybe he compensates with his willpower to show up. Probably he doesn't feel really comfortable like hanging out with strangers, but he is very driven. So he just goes, he shows up, he does what he has to do, but he doesn't put that extra social butterfly kind of attitude. For him, it's not easy to be like that. For him, it actually feels awkward. It feels like he's not being himself. So probably when he has to express himself, the same thing happens. Probably what he says is always like being like misinterpreted, or he feels misunderstood. And I think that what he's showing me here is that with Jake, he feels like Jake understands him. From what I remember about Jake's energy, I know he's a Scorpio, and I think that there was a debate of whether he is like whether he is a moon in Pisces or a moon in Aries. I don't know. There's something about me that there's something about him that I can see that probably for me and my intuition, he could potentially be a moon in Aries, because I don't know, there's something, but at the same time, he gives me water placement. So, because there's something about his nature that even though he's very adventurous as well, he's very understanding. He's a guy that can make you feel special, and he can make you feel like he gets you, like he understands you, like there's no need for you to use a lot of words for him to get you. I think that Jake is like this, and this is actually what Sunghoon is showing me actually here with the star card, is that for him relationships are not easy. For him to actually feel comfortable being around someone, and calling someone a friend. I think that somehow he was also raised to be individualistic. I don't know if he's an only child or something like that, but it seems like he had always worked on himself or towards a goal. So he's someone that, yes, he's perfect to do business with, because he's someone that he will get the job done. But when it comes, to opening up and being, I don't know how to say this, being a diplomat. I think that for him it's not easy to just smile and nod and being cute. I think that there's also a lot of masculinity inside of him. Probably his energy is a bit raw. This is why he's represented by this Knight of Swords here. That it means that he is very fast. When he knows what he has to do, when he has like a goal in mind, or when he goes towards a goal, because his mind is always on the future. It's always about, okay, what do we do next? So I think that this is one of the reasons why I confuse him with the leader. You remember when I did several readings for ENHYPEN, but I think that when I did the group's dynamic reading, I mistake Sunghoon for the leader, and actually it wasn't him, so I do apologize for this. But there's something about like Sunghoon having like a very leader kind of attitude, and I think that it's not that he rules the others or he controls the others, it's more that he has control over himself. So I think that for you to be a leader, probably one of the traits that would be very beneficial for a leader would be this leader to have their own control over their own emotions. And I think that he displays that very well. I think that of course he here with the hangman, definitely in the middle of the reading, lets me know that sometimes he does struggle. He does struggle with finding authenticity in his connections. I think that he feels like he is a sort of alien, that he is not like everyone else. Or probably he compares himself a lot, or he has people comparing him to others and being like, oh, you should be more like this and that. And he isn't that type of person. I think that he is very different, and for him to make connections is not easy. For him it takes a while. Probably he's also very distrustful. This is why when he first meets someone, he is on this energy of the knight of swords. He probably is very cutthroat with his comments. He's probably very observant. He's on this warrior mode, where he goes after, where he is ready to battle someone. For him, everything is a competition. And he doesn't mean it. He just doesn't want to hurt anybody. This is why sometimes he can feel a bit remorseful, because he doesn't want to make someone feel bad. He doesn't want to make someone feel uncomfortable because of him. But for him it's not easy to be a bit flexible. I think that he will need to, and I think he will learn to be more flexible in time, but now he's still working on that. And definitely here with the star, probably he feels a connection towards Jake, with them actually knowing themselves from a previous life, because the star card is also a card of, fate, and also about, destiny. So I think that there's something about their bond that definitely was written in the stars. It has the potential to actually bring him a bit more of awareness into his life. And then in the case of Jake, we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Magician. So yes, for him, actually for Jake, I think that for Jake it wasn't easy also to, it was easy because I see cards of having fun. Actually, I think that Jake's strategy to get close to Sunghoon was being like a buddy, being like a very friendly and very like, oh, let's celebrate, let's have fun, let's laugh, let's connect with joy. He probably was a bit like, but at the same time he was a bit also like planning, how to approach Sunghoon. Probably he was like, okay, I'm not going to give you my whole attention, and I'm not going to ask you to put all your attention on me. Let's keep this fair. Let's take our time, because I think that Jake is also someone that is very calculative. He's a very calculative person. He's a Scorpio, so he's also someone that he calculates a lot. He observes people a lot. He studies people. So for him, actually, then he realized that actually Sunghoon is really funny, and that they have a lot of things in common. And especially I think that what they have in common is that they have these very powerful attributes. Probably these are people that can seem a bit shy, but whenever they are on stage, it seems like they transform, and you can sense and you can see their magnetism and their stage presence, or their ability to swift. Probably they have this very strong energy when they are performing or when they are on camera. And then when they are not in on exposure in the spotlight, they are just very chill people. Probably it's not that here Jake actually, what he shows me is that it wasn't it wasn't easy, but it also wasn't that difficult to get close to Sunghoon. I think that here with the last card that is the magician, definitely Jake has the ability to manipulate people around him, and this is very Scorpio as well. And this doesn't mean that he deceives people. I think that he manipulates the environment. You know, he somehow can he can manipulate the energies so you can feel a certain way when you are with him, and he adjusts this to every person he meets. So probably he doesn't act the same when he is with this member or when he is with other. You know, he does have this, that he's swift. He has a lot of attributes. He has a lot of like different, it seems like it's different moods. So it depends on who he is with or who he is hanging out with, that he changes, you know, that he adapts to whatever the other person is bringing. So I think that this is this sort of calculation, this sort of like a dynamic energy inside of him, that I think that he also feels in control when he is with someone. I don't know who is the older one here, but it seems that Jake holds a bit of control over the relationship. But he doesn't control Sunghoon, because actually Sunghoon is not someone that you can control. But I think that what Jake is showing me is that probably he is in control of how often they get together or how often they see each other, or when they have these very deep conversations. You know, I think that he is in charge of arranging, oh, let's hang out, oh, let's do this activity, or let's do this. You know, probably he is the one that feels more comfortable planning what they are going to do when they are together. And it always involves having fun. It always involves like enjoying themselves. I think that Jake is, even though he's really deep, he also has these moments where he just wants to forget about everything. You know, he wants to let go of control sometimes, and he wants to, like, you know, grab a drink, eat delicious food, you know, like just enjoy, connect with pleasure, you know, not so much work, not so much talking about work. Let's hang out, let's relax, let's do something fun, you know, let's connect with the fact that we are young people. You know, I think that he is a very nice influence actually. And then the relationship as an overall, they got the Seven of Cups, the Lovers, and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So yes, I think that in the future they will definitely will have to adapt to, because I think that I mentioned this when I read for ENHYPEN. I think that ENHYPEN is becoming a lot more famous than they were a few months ago, and this is all their work, and it's the work of the fans as well. They are getting a lot of recognition, they are getting a lot of more connections with other people. So I think that definitely what is showing me here is that probably they will be separated for a while, until they have a other comeback, because I see them like having individual activities, probably keep like participating on emceeing or doing other presentations in other shows or programs. And so they will not be able to hang out that much. But nevertheless, I think that they are just enjoying themselves, and I think that they are changing. You know, I think that there's something about them, especially. I think that what the company wants to do with them is to separate them. I mean, to not have them work together, but to help them expand their potential as individuals. I think that I know that the others are also very popular, but since I'm reading for Sunghoon, and I'm reading for Jake. I think that the company is keeping their eyes on them, and it's like, okay, we should send these two to different kinds of variety shows or different presentations, and let's show them off. Like let's enable them to have their popularity rise. You know, I think that we have seen this with Sunghoon being an MC. I think I talked about this when I did an individual reading for him, that my perception was that they are trying to use Sunghoon's image to represent ENHYPEN. I don't know why, because he is not the leader, but somehow they want him. And for Sunghoon, it's really hard to be in the spotlight, you know, because actually, like I mentioned before, he could be a bit of an introvert. So, but he's slowly like adapting. It's not easy, but he's slowly connecting with his willpower to adapt to a new gig, you know, new activity that doesn't involve being part of a group. And in the case of Jake, I think that it's going to be the same. Jake is also going to get invited to other shows. You know, you will probably see him like in different interviews, you know, because they also want to push Jake's presence and image. Probably, I don't know, I feel like these guys, I feel like the hype has, I think obviously all companies must have this, you know, but they sort of measure each member's popularity. So I think that is coming into is cutting their attention, that actually Jake has become also one of the popular members that probably the audience enjoy to watch the most, you know, probably when he is on a certain show. So, and also the fact that he speaks English really well, because it's his language. Um, so I think that probably they want to push also Jake's image or Jake's presence in these shows, you know. And I don't know if they are going to send him alone. I'm not sure, but probably he will also get offers, you know, like, okay, like I'm going to be here in this show, or I'm going to go to this radio show and I'm going to be talking about the group, you know. So I think that they do have in common this, that actually they are in this, and they are going to be 2022, they're going to be in this year of a lot of exposure, and they're going to do great. Actually, they're going to do great. It's going to be individuals' appearances the most. This doesn't mean that the group will not get to work together. Yes, they will. But I think that probably the first months they will be a bit separated because of their activities. But I think that they are just becoming really popular. So when I see this Seven of Cups, I'm like, oh, okay. So there's something about them that makes them really appealing, really attractive to the audience. So maybe I should check out more their individual works to see what's this about. But it seems like they have this sort of like, there's something about their presence that the audience just love them, you know. So I think that is very encouraging. It's really nice for them. So yes, guys, this is all I have for them. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please don't forget to give it a like and share it with others, with other fans if you have the possibility. And at the same time, please don't forget to leave other recommendations for future friendship readings. So thank you so much, guys. Bye.